Richard Abramowitz and also Neil Young's team for allowing us to show all these cool, very hard to find movies that Neil made, including Human Highway and Solo Trans that he worked on with Hal Ashby, and all these cool movies. It's a week-long retrospective. It runs through tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Jim Jarmusch will be here to present two of his collaborations with Neil, Dead Man and Year of the Horse. I believe that there's still some tickets for that late show of Year of the Horse. As you may know, Year of the Horse and Muddy Track share a little bit of footage, and they've had such interesting collaborations that when we finally got the news that Neil was in fact going to be in New York during this program, during this retrospective, we reached out to Jim to see if he would want to be a part of this event, and we were really thrilled when he said yes. So after the screening, Jim Jarmusch and Neil Young will be up here to chat about cinema, music, Monsanto, whatever else strikes their fancy. Jim is in the house, and we're very happy to have him back. Finally, for those of you who may not have heard, a couple hours ago, we added a special surprise screening of Neil Young's brand new film, The Monsanto Years, which will show tonight at 11:45 p.m. here at IFC Center. It will be introduced by Neil Young. This is a work in progress, and it's the very first time that this film will be, today, the very first time the film is going to be shown to audiences, so I urge you to come back for that. There's still some tickets for that 11:45 show. And that's it. We're thrilled beyond words that this has all come together, and we had Jonathan Demme here on Monday, and Jim Jarmusch 2 nights this week, and of course Mr. Neil Young will be here at the end. It's a good time to live in New York, everyone. So please turn off your cell phones, and we have a great evening ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, Muddy Track.
Well, what a treat to see Muddy Track on a screen, I can say. What a great film.
Thank you. Yeah, well, definitely inside look at what was going on out there. I hope you enjoyed that part of it.
I think it's such a great film. I'm very lucky. I got to see Muddy Track almost 20 years ago. And I gotta say, in my memory, it was kind of darker and more harsh in a way, and now I found it, still dark, but very funny.
Yeah, fun.
You're funny. So, it's a funny film. It's funny in that way of Oscar Wilde said, life is far too important to be taken seriously. And I feel that kind of thing from you, but I love this film.
Well, thanks. When I looked at it, I was having a good time, and we had a good time making it, and Otto gave everything he had. He didn't have much, but he gave all.
I love when you're on stage and Otto's on an amp or something fairly early on.
Yeah.
You say, no, just stay there, Otto. Stay there.
I got to kind of relate to Otto as kind of a pet, kind of like a dog or something. So it made it easy, and he responded really well.
He couldn't go to McDonald's.
No, couldn't go. I don't know why I went, but he couldn't go. I should have taken a hint from him.
I don't know how much just to talk about this film or what, because it's really such a great thing to have this program of Bernard Shakey's films here. And wow, thanks to the IFC for this, just as a fan, because this guy, Mr. Shakey, he's really an amazing filmmaker.
No.
He's disappearing.
He's not coming out.
He's not.
Just that he would but he's not coming out.
Well, Mr. Shakey, wherever he is
Great to work for him. Great. Great work for you, Bernard.
I love the theme music over the Shakey logo too. Where did that?
Is that on this one? Is it that?
Yes.
That's great. I like that. That's Jack Nietzsche. Jack Nietzsche scored that. Yeah. We did 6 different versions and chose that version.
Wow, that's fantastic. The whole Shakey logo is great. But I love Mr. Shakey's films. My favorites really are Muddy Track, and I really love. Well, I think I like them all. You know, I don't know. I don't have really a favorite, but if
Go ahead, Jim. They're like children. They just, you talk about them.
I love Greendale, and I love Muddy Track very much. I love how they look. You know, so I just. But I like all these films. You're really an amazing filmmaker. I'm really excited to see Human Highway, a new version or an altered version, which I haven't seen. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, that was great. It only took like 35 or 40 years to do that. They have to age. They age these films. They do. They really do. You know, you've made some great films, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. This, and I like one thing I like, I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was zooming and pulling back. Yeah. And I was having fun with that. I discovered that thing. Someone else discovered it way longer ago. But part of me just discovered it, you know, and it's that thing when it goes away and comes at you at the same time, in between, zoom pop or something. There must be some sort of good word for it. I enjoyed that in this picture. That's my critique.
Well, I don't want to ramble on about it. I don't know what to even ask you. Maybe he's doing experiments.
Ambience. Film ambience.
Worldizing.
Yeah, worldizing.
Once I visited you on your ranch, and you had, I believe you had speakers in a rowboat out on your lake.
Oh yeah.
And you were re-recording from.
No, we recorded in the barn. We had the speakers in the barn and the house.
But you were using the
lake
water
is in
as
between,
a
and we were in the lake. We were listening to the stereo image from in the lake, balancing out the barn and the house. And that's what we were doing. You had to have been there. Much more entertaining than this story. To have been there, actually.
Wish I was here.
Yeah, I wish I was here too.
I thought a little bit about, there's a film I love of Robert Frank's Cocksucker Blues of the Stones on tour in the early 70s. That's also very, I don't like using these kind of words like honest, you know, but there's something very unfiltered about Muddy Track and also that film of Robert's that I really appreciate.
Cool.
I think they're both really great rock and roll movies, you know?
Well, there's so much shit goes on behind that happens when people are just, you know, being themselves, and we actually care about what we're doing, so we talk about it, and it's constantly, that's the part of it that's fun, more fun than the playing, and more fun than, you can tell that last song, Out of the Blue, I was performing. It wasn't like the rest of it when you were on stage. That was like the difference between somebody who's done a song many times and somebody who's just doing it for the first time or trying to make it happen. And so the movie showed that, and I enjoyed that you could tell the difference between being on stage with the band and not giving a shit at all about the audience, as opposed to standing there and trying to sing the song to the audience and also knowing, well, I've sung this song. What year is it? How many times have I sung this? And it just goes over in your head. It's two different things. One's performing, the other one is being. So it's like being in it. So watching that picture, especially the pans from the cars and the in and outs on the rainy roads with the perspectives and everything, I was like going right back there and doing it again. It was great. I haven't seen it in a long time. So we turned up the bass about 1/3 of the way in it because it's very low-fi.
lo-fi because the camera was a lo-fi camera, but it was a PAL camera, so we had to convert the lo-fi PAL to many letters. And then voila. Merci beaucoup.
Muddy track, voila. Yeah, I thought it was a double meaning too, muddy track, concerning these.
Yeah. It worked. I was feeling pretty good about thinking that name. I could even remember it when I heard it in the movie. I was thinking.
Well, I love Crazy Horse as people, as a band, of course, but as people, what a bunch of fuck-ups.
Yeah.
In such a great way.
Yeah. Trying really hard, too. Trying hard.
I like when you reverse Cortez and you say, yeah, we've been playing the song for 15 years. It's been working.
It works, Billy. It's real anyway. We had a good time, and it's nice to be here. It's funny when you see some of the other films too, because so much time has gone by, and the scope of everything, and being like even with the next one that we're showing in a couple of theaters that's work in progress. It's like it's getting harder to look at me for me. I like looking at the old stuff. There's a personal side to this. It's a little bit weird, but it is a lot of fun. This is great fun. It's great to do this. We're so lucky, Jim. So lucky to have something to do like this. So many people don't have anything to do.
Are there questions that you guys have? No.
No? Okay.
I don't know they do. They're shy.
All right.
Yes. Where's Otto now?
Otto's back at the ranch, sequestered. Sequestered, awaiting fate, deciding where Otto will go.
I think it's really interesting that people spend so much time worrying about equipment and the quality of things. And the fact is, you use these things as a tool and you make something with them.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure even back then people would have said Otto is not professional material.
Not to Otto.
Not I wouldn't have said
No, I wouldn't have said anything.
But anyway, I love the quality. I love how it looks. I just love it.
Yeah, and the gnarly sound from that little pinkish microphone sticking out of that little camera, chip, all the terrible sampling rates converted and interpolated so that we can hear them today. It's a real mess. Huh?
Years ago and then re-edited recently.
This is a original edit, hasn't been changed. This was done back then. 3 people worked on it. It was great fun editing it. Yes, sir.
Any attempts to get this on video? Because this came out in the heyday of VHS.
Isn't it VHS like what's happening?
There's a market for it, for anything. What was why wasn't it released until now?
Good question. I have no answer for that. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea why it hasn't been released so far, or maybe even why it's going to be released. I think we have to let it go.
It's like sending it off to military schools.
Yeah, go off. We can't do anything more with you here. Good luck. But it's a good question. I'm sorry we couldn't give you a more detailed and thorough answer. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite condiment?
Condominium? Condiment. Let me work on that.
If you could follow any other band around and record what they do on tour, who would you want to choose?
No. Okay.
Do you still record? Do you still rehearse in hotel rooms on the road with Crazy Horse when you guys play?
When we play, we rehearse wherever we are. We never stop. We have to. You heard us, right? It's very serious shit. Yes, sir.
Neil, with authors, when they're writing a book, there's the book they intend to make, and then there's the book they wind up making. So when you did this movie, or even any of the others, what do you think is the most important thing that you thought you were going to do, and then when you wound up looking at the almost finished product, what you wound up with?
Well, in all the cases, I thought I was going to make a great movie. And then when I saw what I really had, you know, it was kind of, I had different reactions to it. It kept changing. But I'm not trying to be clever. I'm just trying to keep talking here on my feet. I don't know. I can't answer it. I always try to do the same thing. I'm sure what Jim does too is you try to find an idea that matters, so it's worth it, because it costs a little bit of money to do these things, even though some of them look like you didn't spend any money on them at all. It takes a lot of time and work and investment of resources to make it happen. So you know, but this movie, I decided to make it out there while I was on the road, and it only took me, and I bought a couple of these cameras and used one myself, shot really a lot, and then gave one to David Briggs, who is my producer and my best friend, and they were identical, the two cameras. So it gave a certain look to a certain point of view, and then I just started doing that. You know, we started just, that's all we did, and just trying to capture the inside of the tour from the inside out, complete with a lot of the, you know, the stupid things like not being able to play because they canceled our show because we didn't sell any tickets because nobody even knew who we were. That was interesting. I thought people would be interested to see that part of it. And when that started happening, I thought, well, we might have something here worth shooting, you know, because it's not something you usually see. And you know, we're having a good time playing in kind of a bad time in the business world, but it didn't really matter. They were just sort of coming together and banging against each other. And that's a good thing.
It's a good question, because it occurred to me while watching Muddy Track again tonight that Otto doesn't make any mistakes. Like, it's not even a question. You can't make a mistake. You know, it's not like there's a game plan, and so Otto is there, and I thought it was very liberating to realize mistakes aren't really possible while making this film.
No, Otto could do whatever he wanted to do and did, and it was cool that everybody got used to having Otto along. So Otto was not intimidating, and so people forgot Otto was there. Otto became part of us, and everybody was part of it, and we just sit Otto down somewhere and he'd behave himself, you know, he'd talk, and just kept on, most of the time, just kept on recording. So because of that, it was liberating, because everybody accepted Otto. It wasn't like Otto came with some guide that we didn't know.
But I love that. I know you love form because of your music, but I also love how you're not restricted. I remember when we were going to make Year of the Horse, and I was talking to you on the phone, and I said, Neil, how long of a film should we imagine? And there was a pause, and you said, hey man, when I'm writing a song, I don't think about how long it's going to be. We just start shooting it and see what we get. And that was really freeing for me, because I've planned things out in my films, and this is a beautiful example of that. And its final form is itself. You know, it is what it is. I don't know.
Well, thanks. I enjoy being able to do this because I never had to answer any questions. I just let people ask questions, and then I'd cut away to something else, because that was my experience. It was not my answer that didn't make any difference. The questions they didn't mean anything. So compared to what was going on, particularly, they just seemed to be from somewhere else. So it was great to just get the questions and just let the questions be their own answers. And that was, to me, that was a point of view from my way of looking at the tour. Was what I remembered about all the interviews is the questions. And some of them were, they were just
Well, you sell them. I don't know what to say about them. Nice people, you know, doing their job. Maybe some of them corporate people, you know. Hello, yes.
When you think about technology and authenticity, a lot of times, as I kind of experience in music in your career, I see this kind of like tension in a way. Like you're very forward-looking in adopting new technologies and sometimes abandoning them very quickly as well. But trying to get to this authentic space, and I saw that in the movie. It was refreshing. And then, you know, some newer things you're doing with Chicago and things like that. I mean, how do you see that struggle in a way, if there is one?
Well, there's two things going on. One is you got to have the best thing that you could possibly have to capture something when you're really seriously doing something and you really want to get it. And then some things happen, and low tech is what you have, but it's happening, and you just go. You know, it's not like you can't be creative if you don't have high tech and high res. But if you have high res, you're giving people a chance to listen to something more than what they would have heard, and hear it with more detail, and maybe even feel it more. So it's you know, they're all part of it. You know, they're all part of it. Like low res camera is like an instrument, you know, like a distorted guitar or something. People can say a guitar shouldn't be distorted; it should be clean. You know, that would be cleaner. But it's, you know, so low res, and plus all the rap, a lot of rap and hip hop and things, they're all done in low res, and they're done on really low res, you know, and that has a sound. I just personally think that resolution is a tool that all the resolutions should be used like we used to use EQ and echo and sounds on things. If you just recorded one thing in one resolution and another thing in another resolution, and then the hook came along in a super high resolution, and suddenly you're really right there. But you know, so it moves the music in and out of your head in a way that effects can't do, because resolution is not an effect, it's clarity. It's like you're wearing better glasses or something, you know, or you got better ears, whatever it is, but it keeps changing your head instead of what you're looking at, so it's different. Good question.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up because we've got another full house of people waiting to come in. They're standing out waiting for your seats. So Jim Jarmusch, Neil Young, thank you so much. This amazing, special, sneak, surprise, crazy, work-in-progress screening of this movie that no one has seen. You guys are the first audience to see this movie, The Monsanto Years. It's been such a thrill to work with Richie Abramowitz and Elliot and everyone else from Neil Young's team on putting together this tremendous Bernard Shakey retrospective. It's been a real honor. You know, it's been about the most fun thing that we've done in our first 10 years here of programming here at IFC Center, to be able to throw a light on these really amazing, idiosyncratic, very stylish, very cool movies that people have really not had a chance to see, and I really am honored to have been able to present these to you. It's been really nice to have these other filmmakers who've collaborated with Neil be here, like Jim Jarmusch and Jonathan Demme. But tonight, this is a Bernard Shakey, Neil Young movie, and we're very happy to have him come up and tell you what you're about to see. So please welcome Mr. Neil Young.
Thank you very much. This next movie is
it's me, and you can tell it's me. But I look really old now compared to the way I did in the other movies, but it's still me. And then but the interesting thing about it, I think, is that it's me with a bunch of people who are much younger than I am, and that I found new friends to play with, and we've had a great time doing it. It's a movie about making a record. It's a pretty simple thing. It's just that the record is not about love and kisses and relationships and pluses and minuses. It's more about what we're doing as a civilization, and more about what the poster child of Monsanto, the poster child. I don't really have anything against the people at Monsanto or the human beings working for Monsanto, but the laws and everything, Monsanto, it just has made Monsanto the perfect poster child for the problems that we have with the corporate government. So it's just something that the way I feel about it, and so I wrote a bunch of songs about it, and these kids I'm playing with all are with me on it, and I hope you enjoy it. Monsanto Years, take it away.